Hey there guys, Sean here, and I'm here to talk about Xbox doing a complete 180 and changing their minds on what they're doing with the Xbox One in terms of DRM and disk sharing and shenanigans. And the reason I'm doing this is not because I want to cash in on the YouTube monies, because believe me, there is no YouTube money for me to be made at this point. And I don't want to jump on the bandwagon if everyone just made the same video. However, I don't want to sound negative either, but I'm gonna try to point out the problem with what Microsoft is doing, because there is a problem. Now, for those of you who don't know, originally you need to be online and have it check every 24 hours, and then you could play your games, and if you didn't check within 24 hours, you couldn't play your games and do stuff. Also, like, you couldn't bring your game back to GameStop and, like, trade it. It was weird and hard to explain, like, one-time trade to one person. I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me, but there were DRM, basically. And Microsoft said, no, it's not DRM. It's this thing where, like, you can, use the cloud, and the cloud will make the games better, and oh, it's a wonderful place, and, too bad, deal with it, and if you don't like it, buy a 360, and, like, all these horrible things that they said, and they defended themselves, and they made up excuse after excuse, the cloud, the this, the that, this is why we're doing it, this is why we're doing it, like 100 million reasons as to why. And none of them were like, hey, it's DRM, bitches. So, I feel now that backtracking on that basically admits that it was DRM and that you were just trying to avoid used game sales. Because, otherwise, if it really did have cloud benefits and all this shit, wouldn't you stick to your guns? Like, if it was really a good thing and you were really trying to further the gaming industry and make it better, you would have just stuck with your plan, because your plan was the winning plan. This literally admits that you were just trying to be dickheads. And that kind of brings me to SimCity, where they have always online DRM, you always have to be online. And they said, it makes the game better. And although I don't believe them that it makes the game better, I think it doesn't help at all, and I usually play by myself anyway, at least they stuck to it. Now that sounds weird, like why would you want them to stick to always online? I don't really. But it makes me feel at least that they actually believed in development that what they were doing would improve the experience. A lot of it's run server-side, according to them. I'm not sure how much of that's true, but a lot of it supposedly is run server-side. You play the game here, and you can go to other computers and play it, and that your world will be there. And you can play with friends and have, like, multiple cities with friends and stuff. And they actually believed, at least, I think, and developed it with the idea of, hey, you play with friends and blah, blah, blah. Should they have had an offline mode? Yes. But they didn't backtrack. They stuck to what they thought was right. And, like, backtracking just seems so liarish. Like, that's just bad. Like, you said that this was a good thing and it was helping me in the cloud and the shit and the whatever you said. And now you're like, oh yeah, we don't actually have a cloud. That's actually a myth. We made that up, and yeah, so it was DRM, guys, and you don't like that, I guess. I didn't know that you didn't like that, so yeah, no DRM. Oops, sorry. So, I don't want everyone to go out tomorrow and be like, oh, no, cancel my PS4 pre-order. Xbox One, Microsoft, listen to us, yeah! Like, no, not quite. They didn't have any pre-order sales, apparently, because if they were doing alright, they wouldn't have done this. So apparently shit went down, and they were like, oh shit, fuck guys, we gotta get rid of this DRM, because it's pissing off the people. And so they did, and now we're here, at this, like, weird impasse, where it's like, do you buy a PS4, do you buy an Xbox One? I don't know. I was originally going to go out and pre-order a PS4, and then I was going to pre-order an Xbox One, and then a PS4, and then an Xbox One, and then I said, you know what? I'm not going to pre-order either one of them. Because I looked at the launch titles, and I don't really care. And will I probably buy one as soon as they come out, and I can get one? Because, they'll probably sell out right away, like I probably won't be able to get my hands on one. Yeah, probably. Because I'm impatient. Like, I bought The Last of Us on Friday because it came out on Friday. And I haven't played it yet. It hasn't even been unwrapped. It's still in the nice packaging and sitting on the table. But I bought it because I had to have it that minute because it came out that minute and I needed to get it that minute. So, I have a habit of just buying things when they come out because I'm impatient. So, I'll probably buy one, but right now it's like, I don't know. I don't know which one to get. I'm very torn because on the one hand you got Xbox One, they have Titanfall. I currently like Microsoft's controller better, although I think the PS4 controller looks decent. Like I don't dislike the DualShock 3 from the PS3. I don't care really. Either controller is fine to me, but I do like the Xbox controller a little bit better. But the PS4 looks very comfortable. I haven't held one, and so I obviously don't know, but it looks better. It looks like between these two controllers, there's not going to be too much of a difference other than where the thumbsticks are. So in terms of the controller, I'm not too worried either way. So that's no longer part of my decision-making process because the PS4 looks fine to me. Part of my decision-making process is basically which console's going to win, and not necessarily which one has the better games, just which one's going to win, because someone's going to win. And whoever wins, they get better exclusives, they get better support, and things just go their way. So, right now you look at it, you're like, okay, Microsoft's got Titanfall. But if everyone sticks to their pre-orders, and they don't go cancel their PS4 pre-orders today and pre-order an Xbox One, it looks like PS4 has a ton of pre-orders. Titanfall is made by EA, or published by EA, and is currently console exclusive to Microsoft. If it continues to go the way it's going, Titanfall 2, or whatever the hell the next one is, even maybe Titanfall 1, maybe 6 months later or something, will probably be on PS4, because, like I've said before, Mass Effect 2 were on the Xbox, and they were exclusive to Microsoft, but they were also on PC. And they were published by EA, and then all of a sudden 2 and 3 came to the PlayStation because the deal was over, and EA was like, hey, there's money to be made there. If PS4 has either comparable or more sales than the Xbox One, it's pretty obvious that EA is not going to ignore that part of the market. It's EA's game. They don't owe Microsoft anything. Like, Titanfall is not a Microsoft-published game, basically is what I'm saying, meaning EA can take it anywhere they want after their deal's up. So say the deal does say, like, Titanfall 1 is ours. Well, it doesn't say anything about Titanfall 2, and unless Microsoft has, like, a fucking wad of cash, like, the biggest pile of money, there's not going to be a reason for EA to be exclusive to them anymore, because they can make all kinds of money on the PS4, just like they can on the Xbox One, and just like they will on PC. Like, it's better to sell it on 3 machines than 2, if there's not like this extreme large amount to cover for that machine you're skipping out on. So I think Titanfall eventually will come to the PS4. And you guys also have to think about not what's at launch, because I know people make their decisions based on launch, but what's going to be in the future. Now, I don't know what Microsoft's got. I don't really know what Sony's got. But I can tell you this. Naughty Dog, who's Sony's owned company, didn't announce anything at E3 for the PS4. But for those of you who don't know, Naughty Dog's behind Uncharted, The Last of Us, Jak and Daxter back in the day. Like, they've made a bunch of great games. I don't think they've ever really had a game that was poorly reviewed. And they didn't announce anything. So Sony's got them in their back pocket to make something down the line. They will eventually make a game for the PS4. So they've got that exclusive. They've got Sucker Punch, who is working on Infamous right now, but maybe another Infamous down the line, or a different game completely, a different, universe and a whole different thing. They've got them in their pocket. They've just got a bunch of company. They've got that new company who's making that crazy game that they showed at D3 that I thought looked really good. 1866 or something like that. They've got that company. So they've got exclusives that are on their side. They've got Gran Turismo, if anyone cares about that. I don't, but they've got that too. Microsoft, they've got Halo. Right now they have Titanfall, but I'm going to keep that one out because it's not a Microsoft-owned property. So they've got Halo, presumably Gears, but Gears has fallen off significantly. And I just don't think that series will continue, as where Cliff left and the development switched hands. And I feel like they'll try to start a new series, but Gears won't probably. Maybe one more, but I don't see how that series really's got much left in it. So, Microsoft, they're kind of shaky on their exclusives. I mean, if you look back, like, they've got Halo and they've got Gears, but they had Mass Effect, but that's gone. It's no longer just theirs, and they don't have a whole hell of a lot. Now, I'm not saying, like, you should side with Sony, but you gotta look at the future. Like, right now, if everything was equal, price was equal, everything was equal, and I was just looking at the games and which console I want to buy, based on their exclusives right now at launch, I'm probably going to get an Xbox because, you know, it's not bad to have Titanfall. But at the same time, it's because I don't like Infamous. Like, I don't care about that game. But there are a ton of people who love that series, and if you have never played it because you own an Xbox, you'd probably love it too. I'm weird, and I just can't stick behind games that I find boring. And I find more games boring than most people. And what I always find boring is shooting waves and waves of enemies. And a lot of games do that. Pretty much every game does that, and it just bores me to tears. So unless your story is really compelling me to continue, I'm not going to. It's just how it is. Like, that's why I don't like Uncharted, because I feel like I've killed like 6,000 people here, and it's really putting me off. Like, it's breaking the level of realism going on in this world right now. But I guess I'm going to wrap up, but like I said, right now, I'm very undecided. You're probably slightly undecided, unless you have a strong allegiance to either company. Sony has never done me wrong, I guess. Microsoft has, at times, severely pissed me off with their shit, and I think that you just have to think of the companies behind it. And I know Sony wants to make money and Microsoft wants to make money, and both technically are sort of evil. But I feel like Microsoft showed their true colors with this one, like that they were really trying to be dicks, and then it wasn't working out for their wallets, so they stopped being dicks. And that's great. We won the war, you know? We showed them that we're not going to put up with that shit. But at the same time, it's like, what do they have planned 3 years from now? Like, what crazy thing are they going to do in 3 years that you're not going to be happy about? And you got to think also, like I said, about the future of the consoles, not necessarily their launch lineup. You know, I think Sony has a bunch of great studios on their side that can make really good games. And I'm not saying Microsoft doesn't, but they certainly have less. And, you know, Halo is Halo. Everyone loves Halo, I guess. But like Call of Duty, how many more Halos do you really need to play? Are you done yet? Because I'm done. I didn't even play Halo until whenever I don't know, I got my Xbox like 3-4 years ago. So I never played Halo really other than then. And I'm already done. I played, it's a really good game, but alright. That was nice. Like, I thought Halo 4 was good, but I don't need to play it really. So, you know, just Microsoft did the right thing today. But remember that this is a war, not a sprint. So just because they backpedaled in all of a week, that they might not have done everything correct yet. You might just have to hold on and see what happens, and to not, you know, rush out and buy the Xbox because, well, they got Titanfall and they did that, so they win. I don't think that the DRM and the used games thing was a big deal anyway. I think that their price point is what's hurting them right now, and I don't see them doing anything about that, but hey, what can I say? So give me your thoughts below. This was League of Legends, so we were playing against bots, but it's the only thing I had recorded that can fill the time. So I hope you didn't hate it, and I'll see you later. Oh, by the way, I'm terrible. I've only been playing it for a week, so don't make fun of me. Bye.